Ever wondered how long it would take a nation to go from ranked 200 in the world to first? Well, in today's video, we're going to do just that with Gibraltar, or at least we're going to try to do just that in this experiment here on Football Manager 2024. Right, welcome to Sort It Out SI. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. If you're not new to the channel, also please like and share this video around. We're going to do an experiment today where we're taking Gibraltar, turning everything up as much as we can and seeing how long it will take them to go from 200 to first, or as close to first as we can get in 100 years of simulating on the game. So what we've done is we've taken the youth rating up to 200, the economic strength up to 200. We've taken every single club, like Gibraltar, Lincoln Red Imps here in Gibraltar, all their facilities, state-of-the-art, 5-star, everything, for every single club. We've also pumped a load of money into the league as well. So every season, each club is going to come out with millions and millions of pounds, and hopefully that will allow them to develop players, make the league itself better, make the nation better, get this from 114th up to the top 10, get the nation itself from 200th up to the top 10, and hopefully first, maybe even a World Cup win. We shall see. But that is the challenge. We're going to simulate forward as much as we can and hopefully take Gibraltar all the way to the top. So what we're going to do now is jump forward 10 years, have a look at how things are going, and then probably jump forward to 100 or cut in here and there to see how we get on and just have a look at how Gibraltar develops with everything in its favour. Again, please like and subscribe to the channel and we'll go simulate through 10 Football Manager years. Okay, 10 years have gone. It's the end of the 2033 season. And you can see here that Gibraltar are up to 124th. They've got some players, quite a couple of players actually, playing at Spurs as well. So this guy, 23, came through at Lions, went to St Joseph's and then to Spurs. He is currently the best player in the nation. Scott Shepherd here, also right winger. He's ended up at Spurs via, again from Lynx actually, via Hoffenheim into Spurs. Again, they're one of their best players in the nation. Let's have a look at the records for Gibraltar. So, highest world ranking, 124th, which they've achieved a few months ago in March 2033. Biggest win, a 4-0 victory over Liechtenstein in the World Cup qualifying. We'll have a look if they've qualified for any World Cups or anything like that soon. Most expensive Gibraltarian player, 62 million for Scott Shepherd from Hoffenheim to Spurs in 2031. Within nation, this guy, who is Dutch, Jesse Ball, has gone for 2.2 million from Roma to Lincoln. Highest fee received 100k, so still the transfer money isn't quite keeping up. All-time top goal scorer is this guy, Ryan Elliott. He's got 26 goals in 50 caps. He's one of the guys at Spurs. He's really handy looking. He's currently the all-time top goal scorer. Most caps is this guy, who I believe is a real player, yes, Jace Olivero, 87 caps. He's going to be overtaken by Ryan Elliott in no time because he's only 23 and he's got lots of years left in him just yet. 4 matches won in a row is their highest streak, but you will have a look now at some of their competition. Well, obviously they haven't won anything. They've not qualified for anything yet either. Euro qualifiers 37th. They do an overall table now, don't they? So that's an improvement from 50th pre-game, 45th, 37th, and Euro qualifiers, World Cup qualifiers, currently top of their group. Is that because there has been games played? They are currently top of their group after 3 games played in the World Cup qualifying. So we shall see how they get on there. They've not yet appeared in anything other than a Nations League. They've won a relegation playoff there. That doesn't really. Let's have a look at where they are in the Nations League, because are they going to be in like C maybe? No, that's not. I don't want to look at that. I want to look at all groups. No, yeah, they go second in Nations League C. So nothing to shout about just yet. Under 19 championships, nothing interesting. Yeah, I think we're probably okay for that. Let's have a look at the clubs in the league, or rather, let's have a look at the league. It's gone up to 61st now, a constant trail upwards from down in the 100. I think it started at 116. Alfie Devine is currently top goal scorer in the league. He's obviously from Spurs. He's now at St Joseph's. He's from Gibraltar as well, don't forget. But yeah, so, Lincoln are currently league winners. St Joseph's have won quite a few as well. Have any of the clubs made it anywhere in Europe? Nobody's got any trophies. Let's just have a quick flick through of their Champions League performance, qualifying rounds, Europa League, League phase, 31st, so not into the knockout phases, and not through in anywhere really outside of the league phase. In the Conference League either for Red Imps. Let's quickly look at St. Joseph's as well, because you know they've been in plenty of European places. Again, nothing outside of the league phase. League phase a few times. Anything in the Champions League? No, not into the Champions League proper. Right, but what you can see, you can see down here, loads of money in the balance for all of the clubs. 800 million, billion. They've got loads of money anyway, and all their facilities are still really strong. So we shall see how we get on. We're going to jump forward now. We might just do 10-year increments, maybe 20-year increments, see if we can get to a point where they've done something. See how long it takes to get inside the top 100, and then we'll jump forward to the end of the 100 years and see how much things have developed in that amount of time. Okay, 10 further years on, and we're now up to 50th in the world rankings, which is fantastic. And it's, well, we've not looked at the full graph here, but looking over the last 10 years, it's just a big step up here in around, I'm not sure when that is, but in the midpoint. Big step up and around 50th. Peaked as high as 46th, 45th by the look of it. Again, we'll look through records as well. So 45th in November 42 was the highest ranking they've achieved so far. Just creeping inside the top 50. A 6-0 victory over Andorra now sits on there. Nearly 5,000 in attendance in a qualifying game against England for the World Cup is their highest attendance. That again in 2041. Good year for them there. Scott Shepherd still the most expensive player in history, but they have had a 5.6 million transfer come in to a player from within the nation. He's obviously a Brazilian, so we don't really care about him because he's not from Gibraltar. George Scholes, he is Gibraltar. He's gone from Magpies to Crystal Palace, back to St. Joseph's. So 1 million there, 24 million to come back in, 25 million spent across his career. So he's the highest paid within the league to come in. Ryan Elliott, 64 goals now, 120 caps, still 33, still at Spurs, still banging the goals in. Got 208 in 450 games for Spurs as well. So he's on there. He should also be top goal scorer. He's top goal scorer. He's not top capped though, as Aiden Gonzalez got 143 caps. He has been around everywhere. Let's just look at that career history. So Mons Cal started in Gibraltar, went to Italy, then to England, and learned at Blackburn at one point, to Hull, and down in Moscow is where he finished his career. But 143 caps is currently the high tide mark there. Youngest goal scorer, this guy, 16. He's now 32. He's had 122 caps. Never quite fulfilled his promise. He's joining Juve, though, soon. So good for him. Oh, I suppose he's a defender, actually. I should have checked that. I thought he was going to be a striker. But 5 goals is not bad. He's now heading off to Juve in July. He's been around everywhere. So, yeah, plenty of good-looking players in the national side. As we can see, 50th now. Let's have a look at the league. The league is up to 26th on the competition reputation. If we go and have a look at the qualification places, that'll be interesting to note. So probably around here, 23rd. No one into the proper Champions League just yet. Obviously, they need to get a little bit higher up here to the top 12 before they get straight into the league phase. But we shall see how the teams are getting on internationally, or continentally rather. St. Joseph's have won the vast majority of the leagues. Mons Cal Magpies have picked up one. Lincoln have picked up a half dozen as well. But St. Joseph's are the ones who are looking like they're the dominant side currently. Still got great facilities, still got great finances, just under $1 billion in the bank. Competition-wise, let's have a look at their Champions League performance. Still not into the Champions League proper by the looks of things. Europa League, no. Playoffs, league phase, not been into the league phase for nearly 10 years, 8 years there. Conference League anywhere, league phase once. Any through into the quarter-final of the Conference League. That looks like it might be potentially the best performance yet. We'll have a quick look at Lincoln as well, because they seem to be potentially in, as we mentioned earlier. Conference League anywhere of interest. League phase a couple of times. Quarter-final again here. So a couple of quarter-final appearances in the Conference League now, which is obviously an improvement. Nothing real in the Europa League as expected. Champions League, they didn't get through the qualifying rounds there. But yeah, we go. Domestically, it's all St. Joseph's. Internationally, we never actually checked whether they qualified for a World Cup yet, so we go back here and have a look at that competition history. FIFA World Cup, yep, there we go. The 2034 World Cup, they got to the groups, and then the 2038 they lost in the round of 16. So let's have a look at the 2034 World Cup. I think it was Group B, knocked out after drawing with Saudi Arabia and defeats to Ghana and Brazil, but they got to the World Cup. That's the important thing. And then 2038, there we go. They were second in their group. There we go. So 2 World Cup victories there against South Africa and Ecuador. A defeat to Australia put them second in the group. That gave them a second round tie against Scotland, which they won on penalties, 1-1. We can't really go into we might be able to go into the details. No, we can't. It's too long ago. 2038 now. That's 5 years. Round of 16, though. Unlucky to lose 2-1 to Brazil in the round of 16. Who ended up winning this World Cup? It was Italy beating Belgium, who's won the World Cups as well. Actually, that's well, here we might as well check. Portugal, Mexico, Austria, Italy, and then Argentina, the most recent. Have they qualified for Europe? How are we going to quickly get back to Gibraltar now? There we go. History, competitions, European Championship. They lost in the second round, 2040, to France. Let's quickly have a look at their run through here. This is the groups. How many groups have we got? Like loads now. Let's quickly scroll through them. Gibraltar here, third place. So one of the best third place teams qualified through there. Took a victory over Slovenia, defeats to Spain and Portugal, but they were one of the better placed third place teams. That got them through to the second round, which unfortunately they lost 3-2 to France. Who would they go on to win it? No. Well, they beat Wales in the quarters. Lost to Portugal in the semi-final. Spain won on extra time. Past winners: Italy, France, Netherlands, England. It's very realistic. And Spain. I'm not sure what's more unrealistic. England winning something or Austria winning the World Cup. There we go. Right, let's jump forward again to... We'll go 2053 and then we'll jump forward to the end of the 100 years just to see how we get on. But right, another 10-year jump coming up right now. 10 years on and up to 30th in the rankings. Looks like they dipped as high as 29th quite recently as well. So there we go. We've got some new names obviously on the list of top players, like Alistair Hornby, who's 33, so he would have been around last time. He's at Chelsea. He started out at Europa Point. Scott Baker, 82 caps, left back. He's at Barcelona, so he's obviously done quite well for himself. Been at Spurs and Porto. Ryan Horn at Real Madrid. So you've got Gibraltarian players all around the top leagues doing well. But how is it faring for the national team? Let's have a look at those records once again. 13,500 for a friendly against Brazil is the highest attendance. 29th, as we mentioned, just past November in 2052. Scott Shepherd's still the most expensive player in history, but new names appearing on here. I don't think he's not Gibraltar. O'Shawn Williams, no, he's not Gibraltar either, so we're not going to pay too much attention to that. Ryan Elliott, still all-time top goal scorer, but Kyron Lopez is now most caps, 149 caps with 0 goals in the defensive midfield position. He is at Stuttgart, been at Bayern, Lyon, Montpellier, Sochaux, again from Europa Point. That team obviously keeps crop. Well, they've all got good youth recruitment, very good youth recruitment, so it's always going to be anywhere in the 10-11 clubs, in Gibraltar. Most goals in a game, Mark Cowley here, he doesn't exist anymore, I can't click on him. Most clean sheets in a season, let's have a look at him. No, we can't. I can't look at anyone. This guy, he's retired. Stephen Akioto, Lynx, Sunderland, Arsenal, Al Hilal. Okay, right, let's see their competition. In fact, let's look at the world ranking history here. 29th recently, last 10 years, again, constant climb up. Competition-wise, they've come runner-up in the Under-19 Championships, UEFA Under-19 Championships in 2047. So that probably means they've got a really good national side now, which is always going to be good. World Cup, not another appearance since the last time we looked, which is a little bit disappointing. But the European Championships, they've been in all three of them, since our last outing and got to the second round in each one. Lost to England, lost to Germany, and lost to Northern Ireland, which is a little bit disappointing, I imagine, in the most recent European Championships, which was won by Denmark. So it's 1992 all over again. Let's quickly look. How far did Northern Ireland go after? It was Northern Ireland last time, wasn't it? Gibraltar, Northern Ireland. Did Northern Ireland get any further in the tournament? No. Lost to Croatia, who lost in the final to the Danes, who won. This was in Manchester, the final. Excellent. So past winners, the last few have been won by Croatia, Portugal, Denmark. If we quickly go to the World Cup as well, whilst we're here, how do I get out of this as quick as possible? Gibraltar back here, World Cup there. Who's won the World Cup whilst we've been away? Argentina won the last one we were at, so France, Spain, and the next one's coming up soon, hosted in England. So brilliant. Domestically, if we can get back to Gibraltar, we'll have a look at the league. It's now 16th in terms of reputation. St. Joseph's have won everything since we were last here as well. Constant victory. How are they doing outside of the nation? How are they doing in Europe? Have they got into the league phase of the Champions League? Yes, they have, finally, 3 times out of the last 4 years. So that's good. That probably means they haven't got very far in terms of the Europa League. I didn't realise you could sort by progress. So that's a handy thing to know as well. Although, does that knockout playoff round, does that not mean? Anyway, that's the Europa League. Conference League, if we sort by progress, doesn't actually sort by progress because quarterfinals down here. So there we go. Put that back to normal. They've not been in the Conference League since we were last in anyway, so that doesn't really help or matter. Right, we'll have a quick flick through, see if there's no other trophies have just appeared outside of Gibraltar for any of the nations. We're just going to flick through all of them for any of the clubs, and see if there's anything surprising cropping up, like a Conference League for someone. I've probably gone through all the teams twice now. I'm just looking at the trophies and not looking where we're ending up. There's Red Imps. We'll stop at them. No, we won't. We'll stop at St. Joseph's again because we'll go through all the way. We've definitely been through the clubs twice. Right, there we go. They've got their own stadium now. Excellent. Good for them. Right, we're going to jump forward to the 100-year mark now, rather than going through 10 every time. Well, then I'm just going to look over everything, see if we can find anything of great note to talk about, see if St. Joseph's are still the dominant side in 70 years' time, and see if we can get Gibraltar into the top 10, and if not, first on the world rankings. Let's go forward to 21-23, I think. There we go. Alright then, so they've made it into the top 10 because they're currently 10th. And looking down at the ranking history there, they've been 8th. So that suggests we've managed to get them into the top 10. Probably not first, though. If we look through at the records, we shall see 5th is the highest ranking they achieved in June 2102. So 20 years ago. They've not managed to beat that in the last 20 years. Got a record attendance against England a few years ago in the Nations League of 21,500. An 11-0 victory over Liechtenstein is a pretty impressive feat. Most expensive player is now this guy, Oliver Holmes, who went from Milan to Liverpool for, what was it, £226 million, which is absolutely ridiculous. He was probably a really good player, right winger. If we look, we got competition wins. No, we want to look at here. Recognised for his talents. Does he win any sort of massive award? No. Champions League Player of the Season, FIFA Men's Best Player, there we go, twice. Oh, shortlisted for FIFA Men's Best Player. No, nothing great there. Okay, but he got 300 appearances for Liverpool, 100 near enough for Milan. Played at Celtic as well, left Manchester 62 a long time ago. Ended up in Saudi Arabia. Great career for him. He is Spanish. We don't care about him. What about... You can't click on him either, so we'll assume he's not Gibraltar either. Charlie Hewitt is now the record goal scorer of 194 caps, 119 goals. He did a similar career. Actually started at Manchester 62, left to Feyenoord, ended up at Liverpool, and ended up his career in Saudi Arabia. 166 million. Liverpool spent a lot of money on Gibraltar players over the years. 166 million there, nothing on Oliver Holmes. But he is most capped and top goal scorer Oscar Bevan got 17 in the season. He was a Barcelona mainstay after leaving Lincoln to go to AZ Alkmaar, Brest, and then Barcelona. Anyone else we can click on? We can click on this guy, Darren Astil, Atletico. 500 appearances for Atletico. Again, not staying in Gibraltar though. Who was that? Mitch Barron, did we look at him? No. So he went to Man City, nearly 500 appearances as well. So it looks like all of the best players going quite early is probably going to have hampered the league development. But let's have a look at competition. Okay, FIFA World Cup runners-up twice. European Championship runners-up once. Nations League runners-up 3 times. Right, we'll start with the Euros and just have a quick look at past history here. Look, you can see Gibraltar, the 2072 final. We go through here. Lost on penalties to Croatia in Scotland. What a disappointment there. If we click on them again, where have we gone? Gibraltar here. In fact, Portugal have done runners-up several times there. 3 in a row. 4 out of 5 there. England another 3 years there. Okay, right, let's have a look at their history in the European Championships. Right, so we would have last looked about here. So second round, quarterfinals. Got to the final in 72. Second round, quarters, second groups. Okay, not really doing great in the European Championships. World Cup, so we can see 2 final appearances. Lost in the Netherlands in 2094, and then again in 2110 to Spain in the final. Nothing else. Did they get to any other semi-final? Got a quarter-final there. Lost to Belgium. Quarter-final there. Lost to Portugal. But 2 runners-up appearances. If we look at the past history winners there, Gibraltar appearing on the list twice, which is probably not something you'd expect at the beginning of this save. Obviously, we've put them a little bit on steroids, so it's kind of had to have happened. England didn't win the World Cup until 100 years later, and then won it twice more over the next 20 years. So there we go. If we want to wait until we're all really old, we could win the World Cup again in 2066, according to Football Manager. Jamaica getting into the final as well, so it's not all Gibraltar making the upsets. Northern Ireland, runners-up to Portugal in the most recent World Cup. A little bit surprising there as well. But Gibraltar getting 2 final appearances, losing to Spain, losing to the Netherlands. If we look at the final, I'm going to assume we can't click on either of them to get anywhere. No, full match details not available. 3-0 loss in Rio to Spain, and then here, that was that one. That was the Spanish one, and then the Netherlands here in 2094. Not in Indonesia, but lost 2-0 to the Netherlands in the final. But not a bad effort, really, over 100 years. Getting 2 World Cup finals, a European Championship final. And then we're going to have a look at the Gibraltar Football League, which is now up to 3.5 stars. 9th on the reputation list. So we will look at qualification places now and see if they're in the top 10. They are 9th. So they get 1 automatically into the Champions League, and then another 1 in the qualifiers, and then further qualifying places for the others. So 7 out of the 11 teams is that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 5. I can't count. Basically, half the teams in the nation get European football every year, which is fantastic. So the Gibraltar Football League up into the top 10. But who has won it over the years? We've got some really long stints of domination. So we last appeared here just at the end, pretty much, at St. Joseph's spell at the top. They had a few more victories, but then we sort of transitioned into a bit of a everyone gets a turn kind of phase. Lions picking up a title, Lynx a couple, Europa Point a couple, College 75 a couple, and it's not really until the 2070s where Europa Point go on a massive run and win most of the 80s decade as well. College 75 coming into the 90s and into the 2100s before we settle down again to a little bit of everyone has a bit of a turn going through. Mons Calp winning the most recent, apart from this year, which have we finished? I think we've finished, haven't we? Have we finished? I'm not going to click all through them. I think we've finished, yeah. Lynx winning. No, not. Do Glasses get... Lynx have won the league. That's right, isn't it? Lynx have won the league. They've got 1 game left. We've finished. We've come in before the season's finished. They're level on points with Glasses United. We're going to have to go through a few more. Right, let's just go on holiday for 2 seconds. Right, we'll go on holiday for a couple of weeks because we've somehow come in May rather at the end of June. We'll just go forward until the league's finished and see who's won the most recent league, and then we'll look through each club, see if we've got any European titles, see if we've managed to somehow scrape a champ. I doubt they've got a Champions League, but I reckon at least 1 or 2 Conference Leagues are realistic. And I don't know, do we want to just try to just scroll through the Ballon d'Or and see if we can find any Gibraltar players in the top list of winners? That might be a bit of a challenge, but I'll have a look through and see if we can. But do we think the league season has finished yet? I'm just kind of filling for a bit of time as we go through the holiday here, just to quickly go through. Right, Gibraltar Football League. The league has finished. Lynx did win the title on goal difference from Glasses United. Did they draw on the last day or something daft? No, they drew with College United 75. Glasses drew with Magpies. But no, man, I was at Glasses in my completing FM24 save, so go check that out if you haven't already. But there you go. That's the leagues. We'll just let's go through. Right, Lynx are the most recent winners. No European titles there. They have got their own stadium, so that's 1 new stadium. I think everyone's going to have a new stadium. Magpies again, no European titles. Man 62, no European titles. Monster Cap, everyone's got their own stadium. There's not going to be enough room on the island for all of these stadiums, but there we go. Especially 35. They're not even 35,000 people in the nation. Still no European titles, which is disappointing. Europa FC, nothing. Europa Point have won a Conference League. Finally, Conference League history winners. Where did they win it? Let's have a quick scroll through and see if we can find it there. 2074-75, a good decade, because Gibraltar got to the European Championship final a couple of years before. But if we go through to the final here, they beat Freiburg 3-1 at Hampden Park to get the first European trophy for the nation, I think at least. Another look quick through. Glasses haven't got on. Lincoln have got a Europa League as well. When did they win that? 21-17, so that's more recent. Probably could have spotted that if I looked closely on the list. But there, they beat Leeds in the final on penalties in Cardiff. We can't click on that one, of course we can't. But that, I don't think, I can't see any quickly other names I can expect to be Gibraltar in that list. Lincoln, Lions, nothing there. And then I think we're back to where we started with Lynx, who won the most recent league title. So only 2 Conference Leagues, which is disappointing. But if we quickly look through, we're going to have to go on this page. This might have been a better page to go on because this would have shown us any final appearances as well. So we'll quickly do that. A runner-up for Man 62. This would have definitely been the better place to do it. So another Conference League final there. That's 3 Conference League finals. St. Joseph's got to a Conference League final as well. That's 4. College 75 haven't got to any Conference Leagues. Nothing like that. So we've already spotted that one. Nothing there. Lincoln won one as well. Nothing in the Europa League or the Champions League, which is disappointing. I think with a non-AI manager, a proper person managing, someone would have won the Champions League by now. 100 years in, with a nation of this strength, we got to more than 4 Conference League finals. Right, that is all of the domestic stuff, the continental stuff we want to look at. This might be a pain to try and flick through. I'm just going to flick down until we see anyone. I'm just looking at first place. There. Liam Jones. That didn't take long at all. Won a Ballon. No, that's goal 50. I'm looking at the wrong blooming list. Okay, we'll start again. Just looking for Ballon d'Or victories. I can already see Liam Jones is on that list again. So he is here at Dortmund. Can we click on him? He was 32 at the time, retired at 36 from Lincoln. Went to Sporting, then Arsenal, then Borussia Dortmund, and won himself a Ballon d'Or and the goal 50. In fact, he's won a couple of Ballon d'Ors. He's there as well. Couple of good seasons for Dortmund. For him, anyone else going to pop up on this list? This is going to be a painfully long journey. If he's the only guy, we're going to go down 100 years and not find anyone else, aren't we? This is going to happen. We're already into the 70s. I don't think we're going to get anyone better than him, so he might be the best player on this list. If I do this and get all the way down to the 2020, no one's going to appear here. We're into real players. We don't want that. Let's look if anyone's come second or third. I'm going to miss someone. There's someone. Stephen Akiotu. He was at Lynx, Sunderland, Arsenal, and then went to Saudi Arabia. A long time ago, he was on here. So that was 2042-43. So he was one of the early really good players. I don't think the guys we mentioned early on have been in there. Obviously, there was a couple of really good players for Liverpool who we already looked at. I can't remember their names exactly. There's a Gibraltar guy. He wasn't one of them, but he got 3rd place, 26. Retired 11 years later. Again, ended up in Saudi Arabia, just like everyone seems to on here. Again, if I've missed someone quite blatantly, there's Josh Higgins again, 3rd place for the 2nd time. Please let me know in the comments, because I'm bound to have done so. Trying to skip through at this speed to find anyone of note to click on, just to have a look. I mean, there won't be active players, I doubt, unless it's very, very recently. In which case we'll look at their profile, but there's not much to look at even when we click on them. Here's another one, Darren Astor. We've clicked on him already. He was the guy who spent 500 appearances at Atletico, also got 3rd place in Ballon d'Or, around the same time as Liam Jones. So he was there as Liam Jones won the year after. There we go. I can't use my keyboard to flick up and down. And then he was on a 2nd time there. And then Liam Jones got 3rd place. We've already clicked on him, though, so we're not going to click on him again. We don't want to give him that much coverage the last few years where we want to actually pay attention, because there might be a few more people, and we've run out of seasons to click on. But never mind. So there we go. Let's just look at NXGN this last couple of years as well. See if there's any young hot prospects coming through that we can probably pull out. No, I'm scanning across. That was 3 English players. No really good young prospects coming through. Never mind. A little bit of an ending. That's great. Anyway, right, rankings. Gibraltar, they're 10th in the world, on track to probably qualify for another European Championships. We've got 2 World Cup finals, a European Championship final, been unsuccessful in both of them, that have won 2 of their 4 conference leagues domestically, but nothing further in Europe than that. There we go. If you have enjoyed this video and liked looking through 100 years of history with Gibraltar on steroids on Football Manager 2024, please let me know in the comments. If you want to see anything else similar to this, again, let me know. We'll do lots of other experiments if there is appetite for them. If not, then we won't. Well, we might still do anyway. But there we go. Right, thanks a lot for watching. Again, like and subscribe. Check me out on my own channel as well whilst I'm completing Football Manager 24. And at some point, FM25 will be released and we'll do some content on that as well. But in the meantime, thanks for watching. Check out this video as well, and I'll see you then.